Okay, first panel to remove a trim piece is this panel right here. So there will be click-in fast connectors, one here, one here, one here, and then on the other side, same place on the opposite side. There's also 3. Easiest way: put your prying tool between here, click it out, and just gently pull along the way. Same as on the other side. And that's the first trim piece out. As you can see, connectors on each side. Next trim piece to remove is your HVAC control. This whole unit here, and they're push to connect. Easiest way: priming tool behind here. Hear it click. Gonna grab it from here and just pull it out. As mentioned in the other video on how to replace the radio controls here for your HVAC panel, and here for your push to start. Disconnecting those. And this aside here. And then you'll have 2 Phillips screwdrivers right here, which you also have to take out. These are for your bezel, so the surroundings of your radio. And then just, you can pry this out. You don't need a prying tool for this. And then put this aside. So now what you'll have to do is you have to remove this whole trim panel here. There's only one Phillips screw over here. That's this one. And then the rest should just be fast connectors, so just pull in, pull out. So I start prying over here. I have my prying tool back in this place. Hopefully you can see it now. My prying tool here, I pulled it out. So now we have this trim piece here is loose. So now we can come along the way here and pull this one out. Let's do it to the other side. Pull this out from here. So this one is a bit more tricky, since you can see it has quite a few connectors, more than I think it would need, but this one is a bit more trickier to get out. But you just have to pull towards you. Don't pull up, just pull towards you. And this is the whole trim piece. So now we can go ahead with removing this panel over here. A lot of people, a lot of owners actually take it out and get it painted. I don't want to do that yet. I mean, I like the kind of the silver color, but maybe in the future I'll change it. But this one is held by 4 Phillips screws, one here, one here, one here, and one here. This one forward. So, as mentioned before, there were 4 screws on the top, and then 4 pieces of the fast connectors at the bottom. So the next piece that we'll have to remove is this trim piece surrounding here. That one is being held by 2 Phillips screws, one located here and the other one is located here on the other side. It's a little bit difficult to see on the camera, but there's 2 right here. And then there's fast connectors up by the gauge cluster itself. So one here, and on the other side, that's the fast connector. So we'll take those out. And then you don't need a prying tool for this. You can just grab it from here, loose. From the other side, same thing, and it's loose. You won't be able to take it out, but if you can just slide it back, that's good, so you can get access to the gauge cluster. So now that we have the panel, well, not removed, but like moved a little bit out of the way, the gauge cluster is being held by 4 screws. One right there, one in the right corner, and then there's one hiding below there, and same as on the other side, one there. So I'll remove those and then I'll get back to you guys. In order to help with the removal, I just lowered the steering wheel down. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier, but yeah, so we'll remove all 4 bolts in each corner. And the top left. Oh, a little faster. There's 2. One over here. I mean, I'm doing this without an extension, but could use an extension if needed. Alright, let's see. Yep. And that's the gauge cluster out. And that's the old gauge cluster out. So we have the old gauge cluster and the new one. So we're gonna put that one back now. So thought I was filming, but I wasn't, which is nice. So yeah, the new gauge cluster uses the same securing points as the old one. So you have one in each corner, top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right. Now that I put those 4 bolts all in, we can put this trim piece here above the steering wheel column. So now it's time to tighten, to place the 4 bolts back here. It's one, and the other one is on the other side. Okay, that's good. What we can do now is we'll put this trim piece back. There we go. So now we can put this trim piece back. Line it up. Make sure it clicks in place, which it does. Grab your 4 retaining screws, one here, on the right, 2 in the middle, and 1 to the left. Now I'll have to get the top trim piece, and then we'll put that one back. So now that we have the trim piece back in place here, just to get this big boy back in place. So make sure we line it all up nicely. And just push it back. Okay, that's good. So we have the top trim piece back, only by its fasteners. We do need to put 1 screw back, right here. To hold that in place. Next step is your radio trim bezel. So you remember, all fasteners here, 2 screws at the bottom. Line it up, push it in place, click. 2 retaining screws back in. So this is your HVAC control. As mentioned in my video with the installation of the radio, is to place the push to start button trim piece first. As you can see here, there's a little like ledge, so that's why you want to have that first. And that falls right behind here. So what you will do is you'll grab it, you hold it in place like this, hold it up, push it in, and then you can push the whole trim piece back. So if you don't do that, your HVAC control panel will be a little bit sticking out. It will just look a little bit odd, but so yeah, place that in there. Push to connect start in first over here. Now this is in place. Only thing you need to do is push it all in. And that's it. Let's connect the negative side of the battery and start up the Jeep. As I said before, we can connect now the negative side of the battery.